Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Mark Isaac Potter Presents. Today we're visiting with John Amann, who is very tenacious and persistent. His computer wouldn't work, so he went out and bought a donkey and rode all the way to my house. No, I'm kidding. He decided to use his iPhone or Android or whatever he has to do the interview, which is very fun that we had this. I like the gritty part of TV, so this definitely qualifies as grit. I think John Wayne would approve.
I think so
So
too.
tell us about yourself, John. I make a lot of jokes, so I don't know that I'll make the same ones I made earlier in the day. But I heard you're one of the guys that built the chimney so they could send the smoke up over at the Vatican.
Yes, and also the one that allows Santa Claus to come down.
Oh yeah, a little bit bigger chimney. Yeah,
Yeah, two different
always
kinds.
got to have the cookies and milk there nearby too. So
Well,
yeah,
I'll try to be short in my uh, observation of where I came from. Originally born
okay.
in Montreal, raised in Toronto, Canada.
Just tell
Played
me the first part again. You're from where? I know you were born in your mother's womb, but where else?
in Montreal, Canada.
Montreal. Okay.
Yeah, but I was raised in Toronto
Okay.
because I was playing hockey for the Jesuit. Um,
Okay.
and right before the expansion of the National Hockey League,
Right.
when there was only 16, I did not qualify to make the step because, in their opinion, I was too small at 5'9". But
Okay.
anyhow, at that point, I joined a French chemical company
Okay.
to manage their branch, and I traveled across Canada and 7 European countries for some 20 odd years. Learned about different culture and food and people. And one
Okay.
thing stood out of all of this is no matter where you go, people want the same thing. They want family, they want happiness, they want freedom, and they want a good life. So that was a good learning experience.
Okay.
After that, I moved to Houston, Texas in 93,
Wow.
became an American citizen in 98, stayed
Okay.
there for 32 years, and recently moved to Seattle, Washington 11 months ago to be
Okay.
close to my son. So that's my story.
That's a very, very elegant, efficient, succinct wrap up. Best one I've heard in more than 25 minutes, that's for sure. So, if you're going to laugh at my jokes, you're just going to encourage me. And then the whole thing's just going to be stupid, corny Ohio jokes all the way through. We won't even do an interview. I'll start the interview question and then I'll just go off to silliness. I'm from Ohio. So, we're all about corn and seeming to be stupid so as to disarm the other person. Yeah, it's
That's
our
great.
it's the only tactic we have. We are really stupid, so we just play on it to make it sound better.
There you go.
You traveled all over Europe. That's envious. I and this is true, even though it'll sound like a joke. I left the United States once for 45 minutes, and I didn't particularly care for it. My first wife, I'm serious. My first wife, her family was from a place called Arapueta, which sits right on the border. The town is divided in half. It sits right on the border. The Arapueta part, of course, is in Mexico, and the American part, I think, is called Bisbee. So she's from there, Bisbee, Arizona, and we were married in the late 70s, and we would cross the border to get cigarettes and alcohol, and being good Amish people, you know. So we went over there once for 45 minutes. I went, I didn't particularly care for that. The border crossing wasn't too bad, really. We had to walk. We had to walk through space and time in order to cross the border. That was how tough it is. There was a guard with a little turnstile. You just walk by and you went, whatever, leave me alone. I just got to stand here all day. So, I'm curious to know how many languages you know.
Um, well, fluently French and English,
Okay.
sporadically Italian and Spanish. Now,
Okay.
not the
So,
Mexican Spanish, but the Spanish from Spain.
Spanish. The
Yes.
Moors had a lot to do with forming Spain, you know. You
Yeah.
might know that.
Yeah.
Something Americans don't talk about much is the Moors because they were Islamic, I think.
Oh, yeah. And they
Yes,
occupied south of Spain for centuries.
more than 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share with you because you're one of the few guys I've had on who speaks French. I have tried to learn French, and I joke so much when I'm not joking. I usually say the phrase "not joking," or I say seriously. So, not joking. I took French in high school, which was back in the '60s. I took French in college. I took French in a different college. I spent 2 years on Duolingo, and I think I can say bonjour. That's about it.
Excellent pronunciation.
Oh, God. Wow. Thank you so much. Yeah, I have tried till I'm blue in the face, and I love the French language. I love the people like
Well,
Jean Paul
you
Jean
did
Paul
it the wrong
Sartre.
way.
Sure.
You did it the wrong way.
Well, you're gonna say I should have immersed myself in the should have like
Well, no,
moved to France.
you should have had a French girlfriend.
Oh yeah, that's
You
what I
would have
need.
learned real
As
fast.
if as if American women weren't temperamental enough. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, you're trying to get me in all kinds of trouble. I don't like it when American man breathes in, and I don't like it when he breathes out. But when you're with me, please don't breathe. Well, we got to find out eventually what you do in life, what kind of customers you're looking for. Theoretically, we're trying to speak to an audience that might want to purchase your you I heard you own the Mustang Ranch over there in Nevada or what?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, it's in Alaska.
Oh God, boy, you were clients, but boy, they're persistent. They're long-term clients. There's not very many of them, but they're here. They have a monthly subscription, every one of them.
Yeah. To It's a good question. To explain what I do, I have to go back to my days in Texas, where I
Okay.
spent 32 years helping small business, um, 75 employees or less,
Okay.
navigate through their HR platform, their payroll, and employee benefit. And
Huh.
then about a year ago, I got connected with a group um, that is all over North America. And they had a new idea about solving debt issues for people.
Okay.
Because what was proposed now was either a bankruptcy, a debt settlement, or debt consolidation, which means that, you know, your negative effect on your credit report lasts for 7 to 10 years. So
Yeah.
their idea was let's get together with a bunch of attorneys that are familiar with the Consumer Protection Act and the Student Loan Act and all other types of loans. And
Okay.
let's create a plan to um, catch them with their pants down, if you don't
Yeah, yeah.
mind saying that.
Oh, I
Because
understand that.
90% of the loans and 90% of the credit cards have not followed the rules and regulations specified by the Consumer Protection Act.
Yeah, I
So
forget.
in about 70% of the case, we're able to force them to cancel the debt
Right.
when we explain to them that they've missed out on some regulation,
Yep.
or at worst case scenario is reduce the debt significantly. The result
Okay.
for people is that they wind up paying anywhere from 45 to 75% less monthly towards those debt, and they're out of debt in 3 years. So it
Okay.
only
Let's slow.
appears on
Can
the
you
credit
slow
report
down a
for
little?
three
I'm
years.
trying to. Could you slow down the flow of information a little bit here?
Sure.
45% to 75% less
Yeah.
than they would have
Yeah.
in
Let me give you an
in
example, Mark.
years. Okay.
A couple of months ago, I had a young lady. She was 36. She had two kids.
Now, this
She
is
was,
a person or a business?
no, a person.
An individual. So you guys help business individuals or businesses or both?
Both. Both.
Both. Okay.
Most of our business is with employers, small or large, it doesn't matter. But we do individual also.
It kind of
Um,
throws out families
yeah,
or
yeah,
yeah, you may want to
families.
know. Oh,
Yeah.
some of that didn't come through. So repeat that last couple of sentences.
Okay. Most of our business, probably 75%, is through businesses. And we
Okay.
do that as a voluntary employee benefit. There's no cost to the employer, no cost to the employee. And each employee gets 45 minutes of free consultation with our attorney group. And they go over their credit report. They stop any negative action from creditor. And then they go to proceed with the removal or the reduction of the debt. So
Huh.
coming back to that little lady, 36 years old, two kids. She's a widow. She had $42,000 in debt. She was paying every month $1,800 towards those debt. We were able to reduce that to 600 a month and get her out of debt in 3 years.
All
So
right.
that,
Okay.
yeah, that's the kind of success story that this program provides.
Now, do you have a name for this company or
Yeah, it's My Debt Navigator.
I'm writing. That's why it takes me longer to. I have a learning disability, so I really do. Seriously. MyDebtNavigator.com or what or dot
Yeah,
something.
.com. .com,
Yeah.
yeah.
Didn't want to make a joke there, but yeah. Okay. And then is your contact information and email with that on it? Can you give us some
Yeah,
contact information for the clients?
yeah. Anybody that emails me, um, there's a link that they can connect directly, and that gives them a free consultation with our enterprise people. No charge to them, no obligation. They're just there to explain the program and review their situation, whether it's credit report or whatever
Or
debt.
what? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. The nice thing,
How long is that free consultation?
45 minutes.
All right. Okay, that's nice. Now then contact, it's like John at My Debt Navigator or what?
It's John underscore Amann at Hotmail.
Just a minute, John. A lot of people want either a And okay, it's John underscore, and then Amann is Amann, right?
That is correct.
Hotmail. And then from there, you could send them the link to the special place on My Debt Navigator where they can sign up for a free consult.
Yes, sir.
All right, very cool, man. That's
Yeah, and it's an easy process. That form, which is what we call my landing page, gives them detail about the program and several options to schedule a call.
okay. How big of a company is MyNet Navigator? How many people do you think you help in a year? How long you been around?
This program was formulated about a year ago and launched back in November 2024. So it's
So okay,
relatively new,
all
but
right.
so far we've had company like Campbell Soup, um, a lot
Wow.
of Chamber of Commerce,
Okay.
Coca-Cola,
All right.
um, all signed up for the program. And as I said again, it's no cost to the employer, no cost to the employee. The
Yeah, yeah.
employer doesn't have to do anything because we implement all the program and we
Right.
contact the employee directly to offer them that free consultation. And that's how the program works.
Sounds good. How do you guys get paid?
We get paid when an employee or an individual signs up for the program, and
Means the
we
employee pays you when they sign up?
they exactly there's a fee. They don't pay us. There's a fee tagged on to what their new monthly payment is, and that's the basis for the income for my debt navigator.
Okay. Now, okay. I just think you guys are doing something really good, really helpful, very reasonable way you're running it. Uh, I hope that you and I in the next few months can do a series of shows. So if you want to, I mean, if that's okay, and the next show, think about maybe some aspect of your business that you want to highlight, some smaller aspect. You know what I'm saying, or not really?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds good.
I would make jokes, but I don't feel like it's just really nice to see this. I wish my wife and I'd had this stuff years ago. I called the bank one time. No, I think I called the hospital. And to make a long story short, she and I had been both in and out of the hospital for 5 years at least. I called the hospital and I said, "What's our copay?" And the woman looked on her computer, blah, blah, blah. Said, "Well, it's about $100,000." And I said, "No, no." I said, "What's the copay? Not what's the bill." She said, "Yeah, your copay is $100,000." So we now that was a lot, and that was a long time ago. That was Sugarfoot. That would have been at least the early '90s, anyway. So you can figure that'd be a lot more today. And medical costs in the United States, as you know, are probably the highest in the world by far compared to other countries. So I just really appreciate what you're doing. And folks, if you want to get in touch with John, just email him at John underscore Amann, which is Amann at hotmail.com. Same email address if you want to get a date with him. All you ladies who are calling me with the $50, I need the money, but it would probably be more fair if you just emailed John directly.
You know,
So,
Mark, one of the interesting thing happening this month is the student loan debts. The Trump administration has decided to prosecute.
what word did you
Um,
say? Oh, God. Okay. Go ahead. I don't even want to. The Trump administration has decided to kill everybody in the United States.
I know, I
And
know.
they're
No, they
bringing
decided
from
to
German
prosecute.
Nazis
They
to start
decided to
over.
prosecute all delinquent student loan debt.
Oh,
So they
God.
can garnish your income. They can stop your refund from the IRS. And so far, we're the only organization that can solve student loan debt.
Okay. So that piece right there, um, I, where'd you go?
I'm here.
My computer, I'm embarrassed by how bad it runs, but I can't afford another one. Oh, seriously, that thing just, we need to say that over and over and not, oh God, not joking. I need to capture you saying that in a short clip. We
Okay.
do one of the things we do in our company is short clips on AI, but it'd be quicker for us to do it. And no, I don't know how to edit, so I don't. It costs me money to edit, but it won't cost me money if we do a. If you have the time today, what it will do is we'll log out of this, but let's plan it first. We'll log out of this game. This game. We'll log back in, and we'll do like a less than 1 minute thing where we'll say something like, "Do you have major student loan trouble? I want to say because of the Nazi American government. If so, probably we won't say that, but if so, we sell white sheets that you can. No, that's not it. Uh, you know what I'm referring to or not
Yes,
with the
I
white
do.
sheets?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you have major loan debt, we're the only company that can solve that problem. And it when a company can say we're the only ones that do this, like I can't say that. There's got to be out of the 9 billion people in the world, probably 11 billion of them do what I do. So, you know, so yeah, let's work on that now. In fact, if we work on it now, this audience that's listening now will get to hear it repeatedly. And that to me that's a good thing because history,
Good.
I mean, repetition is the heart of advertising. And while we're not on the subject, LSMFT. Are you old enough to know what that means?
No,
LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
here you go.
I'm showing my age. I grew up with Abraham
Yeah.
Lincoln's father.
Well,
So
I was a camel smoker, so
I was Marlboros all the way. Marlboro Reds, 2.5 packs. Yeah, so let's word that. Can you say that again? Let
sure.
me wait. Let me do this. Let me capture it on my phone because there is a science to saying something the exact same way as you did last time. Not joking. I took about 10,000 hours of EST. Have you ever heard of EST landmark?
Uh-huh.
Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay. I thought maybe you were going, no, I hate that stuff. That's disgusting. Because it was back in the day, it was controversial. Now it's much more mainstream. But all right, I'm going to try to capture the. Let me see if I got this set up right. Technology and I are not really friends. So we want to figure out what you're going to say. Something like My Debt Navigator, the My Debt Navigator company. In fact, I'm going to practice here. The My Debt Navigator company is the only company in the United States that can help resolve your whatever it is, your student debt, given the Trump administration, or however you want to diplomatically verbalize that, because it's your thing. It's not, I'm just here to help. Go ahead and give us at least a first draft, John. You don't mind doing this, do you?
No, sir.
I just love marketing and helping people get a good deal, man. This, you know how many people are suffering out there with student debt? I don't have to tell you. Give us a run through on what you think would be an effective wording of that.
Okay. For anybody who has student loan, until a month ago, everything was kosher. Now, the administration has decided to go after delinquent student loan payment, and they have a plethora of tools to go after your IRS refund, garnish your income, so on and so forth. My debt navigator offers an exclusive solution to resolve your student loan issues if you're delinquent.
Okay, and they should get a hold of John underscore Amann, Amann at hotmail.com.
Correct.
That's beautiful. I probably will simply just take that and send it to my editor and pay her to cut it out of the, copy it and cut it out of the show and put it in a separate thing. That's just a beautiful. I don't know. I have this heart for people. If I don't help people every day, I'm not healthy.
Exactly.
I'm not healthy.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
physically, mentally. So to know that this planet, which we've been around 100,000 years just as humans, and 99.99% of us are suffering, and the 1/10 of 1% are. Jeff Bezos has a big yacht that is the companion to
Yeah.
his gigantic, obscenely large yacht. You don't even want to get me started. I hope you're not rich in the background there, sis.
Hell
All right,
no.
folks. Yeah, I'm gonna probably wrap. Anything you want to tell us, John, or not? Anything else you want to say?
No, it's other than the fact that what I do is rewarding, not only financially but
Yeah,
mostly emotionally. When you're
yeah.
able to help people, off the streets that are stressed with that, it affects their health, it affects their relationship, it
Yep.
affects their marriage, it affects their children, and
They lose
most
their
important,
homes sometimes. They lose their
yeah,
homes. Their kids
yeah,
who were going to go
exactly.
to college can't go because
Yeah,
the father still has student debt from the 1400s. So yeah, it's very beautiful what you're doing. So, folks, if you would please get a hold of John. He's offering you a free 45-minute consultation. So you can't get much better than free. So give him an email. This stuff won't bounce, will it, John? Your thing is set up so it won't bounce an email it doesn't recognize.
no,
Pretty good. Okay. And folks, of course, if you have any trouble getting a hold of John, not that you will, you can always get a hold of me. My information is all over everything. So all right, John, thank you so much. I look forward to doing another show at your convenience, not my convenience, at your convenience. Seriously. So, and do your son's in the business or he's in a different business? I saw
no.
his name.
Yeah, my son is a manager of Home Depot
Okay.
in Issaquah.
So he's probably not, unless he has a side hustle, he's probably not going to want to be on the show. The point is that usually when I have a guest, I say, look, if you've got a nonprofit that's close to your heart, if you have a friend that's starting a business, then have them come on the show and we'll do a show with them too. Okay.
Sounds good. I
God bless
appreciate
you.
your time and I appreciate you having me.
You're very welcome, and I look forward to having you on the show again.
I
Take
look
care.
forward to that too. Take
All right.
care.
God bless you, man. Take care.